Before we start this video, I would like to simply ask you to watch all of it until the very end. I know it's a bit long, but it's also not my longest video. It's a bit unorganized because I'm free flowing it. However, I wrote a hook at the very end of this tale that will satisfy you if you pay attention. On September 24th, 2024, I posted an Instagram reel. I didn't think too much of it. It just, it's a boring reel, just showing off my outfit. I didn't think too much of it. And then this gentleman right here, Jumpman.ccp, commented this beautifully written dissertation on Makasi Tan. Let's read it together. You should seriously consider a different career or hobby. I don't mean to be harsh, but it's clear that you're lacking self-awareness, and frankly, I doubt the people around you are honest with you. Either they're too close to see it or they're too polite to tell you the truth. This comment is not specific to this video. This applies to all of your posts on every platform that you use. Your posts are beyond cringe. They're desperate. I see you trying to lean into the rage bait that I don't care, I'm just trolling vibe, but it's not working. It's not clever or funny. It's a failed attempt at satire that comes off as shallow and tacky. You're trying hard to be edgy, but it's just tasteless. And no, it's not just about your poor taste in clothes or the fact that you parade around Crocs thinking you're being funny. You look like a wannabe hypebeast with zero style and zero originality. It's like you're chasing some status you'll never have, and it shows in everything you do. Let's be real, you don't look good, and it's not just about your appearance. Let's be real, you don't look good, and it's not just about appearances. You're clearly chasing an image that doesn't suit you and a career that doesn't align with who you are. Honestly, I doubt you even buy half the stuff you flex with your own money. It reeks of family money or some cushy role at your parents' business where you're just coasting along. I genuinely hope your mental health is okay. If it's not, you should seek help before it spirals further. I'm saying this because there's still time to change path before you become a complete joke. Not gonna lie, I didn't read it at first because it was quite long. Plus, not my first hater. I assume it was about how shitty I dress, how I'm disrespecting the designer, blah, 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 blah. Fashion is subjective, I get that. I generally don't leave good or bad comment on strangers' posts. If I don't like something, I simply skip it. Too much effort and time to think about a negative comment and then write it and then, press send. However, I know some people are more frivolous with their time. Someone else commented on the reel and this comment was right there. I was bored, so I decided to read it and I thought it was hilarious. I decided to sit on my feed because I generally post what I want. There's no rhyme or reason. I simply post whatever I think is funny, cool, or cringe or whatnot. There's no aesthetic to my feed. It's a mess. Okay, so I shared the reel on my stories. I then made a few comments about it in the next stories, kind of just having fun with it for a moment. Let's read that together. The first one, now I wish I hadn't removed all of my friends. They would have appreciated the laughter. If you don't know, I spend too much time on Instagram Reels. I hate it, so I decided to unfollow all of my friends and remove everyone. And it has worked. I have spent less time, excuse me, I have spent less time on Instagram. The next story, I said, if you mix CCP with any other brand, you might need to go to an insane asylum. Story after, sorry guys, gonna delete all my social media now cause, check note, Jumpman.ccp think I'm cringe. Now, with most haters, they tend to make their comment and leave. They take their sucker punch and they leave the scene, as I like to describe it. So believe me when I tell you that I did not expect what was coming. This person, we don't know their gender, so let's say them. We're gonna be respectful. They decided to screenshot these stories and made a nice little post about it. Let's read that together. What friends? If you had any real friends, they'll tell you the truth instead of letting you embarrass yourself like this. Your delusion and denial are off the charts. This has nothing to do with you wearing or mixing CCP. It's not a CCP, Rick Raff, or Bodhi problem. It's a you problem. Your face, your body, your brain, and your crippling insecurity. You're beyond cringe. You're desperate, delusional, and clearly surrounded by people who don't care enough to give you a reality check. If we put this photo back up, you can see that I commented a heart, a little comment that doesn't have any meaning. I'm not refuting, I'm not agreeing, I'm simply letting them know that I appreciate them trying to get my engagement up. I realized the mistake of leaving a heart. A quick anecdote if you don't mind. I don't enjoy arguing with my wife, friends, or family members. I will listen, try to understand their POV, learn, change, make sure I never take this route again so life can be smoother. I enjoy having fun with my wife, my friends, my family members. Arguments here and there are healthy, but I don't want 355 days of that. I enjoy calmness, I enjoy serenity. With strangers, I do what I can that will get me out of the argument the fastest. It could simply be liking their comment, replying with a heart, but what I've been doing lately is simply agree with them. So what made. So when he made the second post, I decided to enact that. I commented, "You're right, my fault." They didn't like it, they didn't reply, but we can assume they've seen it. What I've noticed, and what you probably noticed, people love to argument. People love negativity, intense standoff where no side is budging. Think the news. We see more negative headline than positive because, negative news get more clicks. Argument gets our heart going more than good news. They didn't get the argument they wanted. We can both assume that they wanted me to refute those points, engage with the argument. I'm sure they had more statement ready to go, but they didn't expect me to say "you're right" and essentially not reply. Okay, so they said nothing, and I made another reel because, editing YouTube video can get boring sometimes, so I make a reel in between to get my mind to relax. Anyway, I made this reel, and this person decided to screenshot it again, included some of the story I posted, made some more comments, and posted on their Instagram. Let's read it together. It's a short one, same comment, but multiple pics, that's all. Unemployed and unable to land a job of his own, wasting his parents' hard-earned money on an impossible dream with zero self-awareness, completely blind to his own reality. You're probably expecting me to refute all those talking points right about now. I did that kinda when the Carol Powell Discord came at me. I could do that, but I've learned that it's a waste of time. Yes, it affected me for a few minutes. Actually, okay, let me rephrase that. It got my attention for a few minutes. It didn't affect me emotionally. You'll find out later why. These words from strangers, they don't linger in my mind. I have fun engaging with it for a few minutes or hours at most a day, but it never crosses my mind again. I'm a grown man. I got responsibility. Anyway, as stated in the other video, if I defend, oh, I'm butthurt. Haha, we got a reaction over him. If I don't defend, haha, I knew it. We were right. Dude didn't argue back all of our accusation. There's no winning an argument with strangers on the internet. We don't have a moderator that will say this person won or this person lost. Now, I don't care enough to change a stranger's mind about who I am. If they think of me a certain way and is spreading those rumors to their followers, to their friends, whatever, good on you. Have fun with it. I assume that these people are not living the best of lives. Might be the wrong thinking, but I do think this way. The fact that they take the time to leave me a comment on a stranger's video, it takes effort. I have never met a person who is so busy with work, friends, and a shit ton more responsibility go, "You know what, hang on, I need to argue with the stranger real quick. I need to write a few negative paragraphs." I imagine that these people are lonely. They don't get a lot of genuine conversation with their friends and love the daily. So they try to supplement that with with argument with strangers on the internet. That is my assumption, could be wrong. These people could be millionaires just bored trying to troll. Now let's dig a bit deeper into Jumpman.ccp. By the way, you guys are going to have to take some faith in my word because I didn't get a chance to screenshot everything before they deleted their account. Their Instagram name, Jumpman.ccp, and the photos of a CCP product. We can assume that this person knew about my drama with the Discord or saw my video and they're such big fans of CCP. I attack their community. They must defend their tribe. Understandable. This account was made in September, has 2 to 3 followers. Follow a few generic account like The Rock, NBC, Instagram, or whatever. The pages Instagram suggests when you make a new account. My assumption, probably yours too, this person made a fake account simply to bash me because they want to hide behind anonymity. Let's go back in time a bit. Back when I was a bit more amateur, a bit more temperamental, a bit more emotional, I would have said, yeah, this cunt can't even bring themselves to say it with their main Instagram account, which is already a cop-out. We all know this person would not have the balls to say any of these words to me in person because they don't know me. This hoe is saying all this because they know they can hide behind a wall and a wall. I'm going to refute all their statements one by one. I will defend my honor because it pisses me off. I'm going to block them afterward because it angers me. Looking at this person angers me. Now that's the old me.
I don't actually know if Christian Bale did say this, but the quote is, "If you have a problem with me, text me, and if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me."
The new me, right or wrong, simply feel bad for this person. By the way, that clip is a nice segue. All of us are no amateurs at this social media BS. We know the dark side of it. We know that people will be mean to one another simply because they can and there will be no repercussion. To see this person analyze me without knowing me, calling me names, hating my body, face, personality, and whatnot. My wife wanted to report the page. My friends also want to report the page because they were kind of mad about this. I told them this is not my first hater. It will not be my last. If you report them, they will see this and believe they got me. To put it in a term that all of you will get, if they see notifications that their account is being reported, they will jizz their pants on the spot. They would have gotten what they wanted out of this interaction, a reaction. Let me tell you why I made this video. I want to set an example. I know that most people are not as thick-skinned as me. I know that most people are more emotional when they're attacked online. If this video can help one person out learn there's a new approach when they will inevitably get mean comments on their social media, I will go to sleep happy. I mean, I go to sleep happy regardless because I sleep next to my beautiful wife, but you know what I mean. So there's this famous tweet by Tyler that I like, we all know it. I would like to refute that a bit. Some people will read it and have the negative comment ruin their days, even though they turned off their laptop. Our brain holds on to negative comments more. Let's say 10 people. 8 could say they love your outfit. 1 will say it's okay, 1 will say it's bad, and you will instantly forget that 8 people said they love it. So let me bring this video back in full circle, or shall I say, repeat things. I'm not going to refute those statements. Beautifully written, by the way. They definitely use Grammarly to check themselves because they might have thought I was one of those, oh, haha, he used a Y-O-U apostrophe R-E instead of Y-O-U-R. Your whole point is valid. This fake Instagram account of a person who doesn't know me, they can think however they like about me. I am not going to try to convince a stranger that I am a good person. My friends, my family, they know who I am. I know who I am. That's all I need to go to sleep peacefully and will one day die peacefully. When one of those few people say I've gone the wrong road, I will reflect and change accordingly, but not with strangers. I'm not going to reflect on my personality, how I treat people, how I talk to people, because a stranger made all of these claims about me. If my assumptions are to be correct and this person really doesn't have a lot of genuine conversation and don't have a lot of friends and must use this engagement as a form of supplement in order to get that dopamine hit, I live in Munich. Jumpman CCP, comment on this video, DM me. I know a great pizza place. I'll pay. We can talk about fashion. We can talk about you, about me. We can talk about what led you to leave the comment. What led you to make an account to comment all of these negative things. I don't think you're a bad person. I think perhaps you had a bad day. One of my video came across your account, made you angry. It happens. I simply ask that we film this interaction. I'm quite curious about what you look like. I'm curious if you are able to say this to my face. Judging by your statement, I feel like I've angered you to a point where you could punch me, right? I'm a bit curious how our interaction will look, as I'm sure most people are interested as well, would share the same sentiment. I'm curious if you simply punch me and run away or not. Prove to me that you're Jumpman CCP. I live in Munich now. We'll set up a pizza date. However, if you turn out to be a bored millionaire, you're paying for the pizza.